Imagine a dog that refuses to leave the side of a grave. Rain pouring down, mud covering its paws, yet it stays there, silent, staring at the headstone as if it's guarding someone, as if it knows that their world has ended. But its heart hasn't. This story is not just heart-wrenching, it will shake you to the core and make you question the depth of loyalty animals are capable of. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Logic Unlocked, because stories like this deserve to reach as many hearts as possible. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single moment of this journey. It all started in a quiet little town in the USA, where a man named James had lived with his loyal companion, a German shepherd named Max. James and Max weren't just owner and pet, they were inseparable. From morning walks in the park to late-night conversations on the porch, Max was there through every moment of James' life. But life, as it often does, threw a cut. James passed away unexpectedly. His death left a void, not just for his family, but for Max, who seemed to understand that something had changed forever. The morning after James' funeral, something incredible happened. Max didn't follow the family home, didn't return to his usual routines. Instead, he went straight to James' grave. He sat there, refusing to leave, no matter how much rain fell or how cold the ground was. Days turned into nights, and still, Max stayed. Neighbors and visitors tried to coax him away, offering food, toys, and shelter. But Max only shook his head or walked a few steps, only to return to that same spot. What makes this story even more compelling is the way Max's presence began to affect the town. People started noticing him. Some thought it was just a dog being stubborn, but those who watched closely could see it there was something almost human in his grief. A sense of understanding and emotion that went far beyond what most animals display. Parents would bring their children to show them loyalty in its purest form. Local reporters came to capture the story, sharing it with the world. And slowly, Max became a symbol, a living reminder of love and devotion that never dies. During this time, Max's health began to concern everyone. He barely ate, barely slept, and yet his gaze never wavered from the headstone. Volunteers and animal rescuers came by, trying to help, but Max's will was unshakable. It wasn't stubbornness, it was low. Max was waiting, guarding, honoring the man who had been his everything. In fact, the more people tried to pull him away, the more he seemed to insist on staying. This story spread like wildfire. Social media was flooded with videos and pictures of Max sitting faithfully, often in the rain or snow, completely unbothered by the elements. Comments poured in, strangers from all over the world expressing heartbreak and even guilt for not understanding their own pets better. At Logic Unlocked, we believe stories like Max's remind us of the extraordinary loyalty that exists in the animal kingdom. They force us to reflect on our own bonds, on how fleeting life is, and how love doesn't end with death. Weeks passed, and something incredible happened. Max didn't just stay at the grave. He started interacting with visitors in a quiet, almost gentle way. He would allow people to sit near him, offering comfort silently to those who came to pay respects. It was as if he understood grief in others and wanted to help carry it. People left flowers, letters, and even treats. But Max never left the grave. His devotion wasn't just to James, it was to the memory of love itself. If you're watching this and you haven't already, pause for a second and hit that like button, and subscribe to Logic Unlocked. Stories like Max's deserve to reach everyone who needs a reminder that loyalty, love, and grief can be expressed in ways words cannot capture. Months went by, and the bond between Max and James' grave only grew stronger. Local authorities and animal welfare organizations stepped in to ensure Max had food, shelter, and medical care. But all around the grave, he remained. People who once thought this was just a dog being sad began to understand something far more profound. Max wasn't mourning in the way humans do. He was honoring a promise, a lifetime of loyalty, a connection that transcends even the finality of death. Some visitors reported that when they sat near Max, he would nuzzle them gently, almost as if offering solace. Others swore that his eyes, too canine, conveyed an understanding of loss deeper than most humans could comprehend. In a world often filled with chaos and distrust, Max became a quiet hero, reminder of the purity of devotion. Eventually, Max became more than just a local story. His tale was shared across news outlets, social media, and even inspired artists, writers, and filmmakers. People from around the country began visiting the town to witness his loyalty firsthand. And through it all, Max never wavered. Through grindwind and snow, he stayed. His heart was steadfast, and his message was clear. Love is eternal. As this story comes to a close, I want to leave you with something important. Comment below your thoughts. Have you ever seen loyalty like Max's? Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that true devotion exists, even in the most unexpected places. And remember, subscribe to Logic Unlocked for more stories that touch the heart, challenge the mind, and remind us all why the world is still full of wonder. Max's story isn't just about a dog sitting by a grave. It's about connection, about love, and about the way animals can teach us to feel more deeply. It's about the truth that sometimes, even in silence and stillness, the loudest messages are sent. So, the next time you think about loyalty, remember Max, who refused to leave, who refused to give up, and who showed the world what it truly means to love without end.